Hi, hello, and welcome to Anaheim Stadium in Anaheim, California. Along with Phil Rizzuto, I'm George Grande. Tonight, the story of a young pitcher and a veteran pitcher going at it in Anaheim, Scooter.
Yes, and the veteran pitcher, Richard Dotson, is actually making a comeback of sorts. He had hurt his arm. He pitched well his last outing. And young Jim Abbott has caught the fancy, I think, of every sporting fan in the world, not less the United States. He's an amazing kid, and I'm looking forward to watching him tonight.
An amazing young man going against another individual who wants to make 1989 a comeback year for him. It's Jim Abbott going up against Richard Dotson. We'll have the first pitch of this one after these messages. Sachs will be playing second base, hitting in the number 2 position. Don Mattingly will be playing first base and batting in the number 3 position. Jesse Barfield playing right field. Steve Balboni will be the designated hitter tonight. Don Slaught will be behind the plate. Tom Brookins playing third base this evening against the pitcher Jim Abbott. And Espinosa will be at short, and Roberto Kelly will be out in center field for the New York Yankees this evening. They will, of course, be facing Jim Abbott, the young man who has been a major story in the early going of this 1989 baseball season. The young man who came out of the University of Michigan, and many people thought he would start the year at Double-A, but he is starting the year in the major leagues. He has already won his first game as a major leaguer and is entrenching himself as one of the keys to this California Angel team for 1989. We had a chance to talk with his manager, Doug Rader, and Doug Rader made it very clear that Jim Abbott is a very exceptional young man.
Well, he's special for 2 reasons. I think that people will get wrapped up in the Jim Abbott story and forget 2 things. And those are the 2 reasons why he's at the major league level now, and that is he's got a very gifted left arm. So he's blessed physically, and he is extremely emotionally resilient and emotionally tough. And as far as I'm concerned, the only 2 prerequisites to compete at the major league level are physical adroitness and mental stability. And Jimmy's got them both, and I don't think it's important that he hasn't had minor league experience. He's had international experience, educational background. He's got everything for me.
That's Doug Rader, the manager of this California Angel team, and this is Jim Abbott. He's 2-2 on the year with a 3.48 earned run average. He's making his 6th major league start and appearance. Last time out, he earned his 2nd victory this evening of the season, beating John Cerruti in Toronto 5-3. That was May the 5th, and that was on the road up at Exhibition Stadium. Pitched 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. And for Jim Abbott, this has been like a magic carpet ride to start off the 1989 season. He throws a fastball, a curve, a slider, and a slow curve. The slow curve really amounts to what is his changeup. And as Doug Rader has said, and Marcel Latchman, the pitching coach of the California Angels, has said, it's important for him to be able to get the off-speed pitch over. He is a young man who just continually has impressed people every step of the way, not just as an athlete, but as a young man who is a quality individual, and that's one of the reasons why he's made the big jump. As you heard Doug Rader say, he made the jump on his athletic ability, yes, but also on the basis of the fact that they feel he can handle the pressure of the major leagues, and so far he's been able to do that. And Scooter, when you look at Jim Abbott, you see a young man who is much more than just another athlete out on the baseball field, don't you?
Oh, you absolutely do. I mean, he does not consider himself having a handicap, but it's amazing watching him how he does this so effortlessly, just like he's playing catch. Just look at how that ball pops out in his hand. You would think that he wouldn't be able to hide the ball very well. He doesn't hide it as well as if he had the glove and then put the ball in the palm of the hand, but he puts it on the back of the glove. Now he's going to throw his curveball. That's really something.
Now, there are 2 factors. You would think he couldn't hide the ball, and the other thing is, obviously, you would think that someone would try to bunt against him, and at every level he has played at, people have said those 2 things, and at every level he's played at, he's been able to respond to that, and he's been able to win. And now he's at the major league level, and with a 2-2 record at .500 in the early going of '89, he's demonstrating the fact he can win here too. So it's Jim Abbott set to go against Rickey Henderson, the leadoff hitter for the New York Yankees. And to take you through with the play-by-play, here's the Scooter.
All right, George, and Rickey Henderson will step in. And of course, the amazing thing is the ball players love this kid, but they don't feel sorry for him. They want to beat him. And that's what makes baseball a great game. And Abbott doesn't look for anything. Ricky Henderson. Right down the middle. Strike one. Henderson batting .252, 9 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 13 runs batted in. And Cecil Espy now has 2 more stolen bases. He has 17. Ricky has 15. Good curve, ripped to left field, deep to left center. That's in for extra bases. Hits the base of the wall, and Henderson will have to stop at second base on what appeared to be a hanging curveball. He had thrown a good fastball on the first pitch. And the second one just seemed to hang there for Ricky to hit, Joe.
And that's what we talked about. When you look at this young man, one of the keys for him will be getting the breaking ball over. He has to do that to win consistently against these hitters. And as you can see, that's a breaking ball that Ricky Henderson was right on top of from the outset. Hammers it against the fence. In fact, it lodges in and hits the bottom of the fence and then rolls out. White is over to pick it up and relay it in. And the Yankees, with a runner on second and Steve Sachs up. Scooter, interesting that when they announced Steve Sachs in pregame warm-ups, of course he played here with the Dodgers, and then just now when he steps up to the plate, he received boos here in Los Angeles area. Anaheim, of course, just south of L.A.
They really did boo him. It was very strange. But Sachs having a fine year, batting .315. Doing everything that had been expected of him and more. He's got 5 doubles, a triple, a homer, 14 runs batted in. It's a tough man for Abbott because Sachs can handle that bat. He can bunt, hit to the opposite field. And Ricky leading away, giving Abbott a little bit of trouble. Ball one.
One note, too, and that is that people believe in the league that Jim Abbott can be run on, especially from second base. So you may see Ricky do something here before this one is over.
All right, there's Henderson leading away. Schofield breaks over, and he bluffs a throw back. Schofield's got to hold him close, give Ricky that one extra step, and he will steal the bag. And a bunt attempt. Now this is the play. Look at this. And he kept the runner from advancing. Unbelievable. I mean, he is so quick. You talk about the hand being quicker than the eye. He got that glove on his left hand, caught the ball, switched it into. Holy cow, the glove off the. Watch this.
There you see what people have said he'll have trouble doing, and he's done it at every level he's played at. And those people that have seen him in college and seen him in amateur baseball were not surprised at the play they just saw. People around the majors might be, but most people that have seen him aren't.
And it's true, and he got the 2 fastest men. He kept Ricky Henderson from going to third, looked him back, and then got the speedy Steve Sachs at first, and here's Mattingly. Still right one. Doesn't seem to have any problems with his control with the fastball. Mattingly getting that average up. He's at .241 now with 7 doubles, no triples, no homers yet. This has got to be the longest he's ever gone without a home run. He has 14 runs batted in. Oh, boy, he bluffed the throw again because Ricky was leaning and had taken that short step. Schofield has been right on target, thinking with Henderson as to when he's going to steal. His dad, a big league ball player. Pretty good ball player, too. 1 man out. There goes Henderson. And if the throw were low, they would have had him, but a high throw. And Henderson in with his 16th stolen base of the year.
Here's the feeling and the philosophy, and that is that if you're going to have trouble and difficulty for Abbott, it would be especially at second where he doesn't get a full view of the runner, and there's nobody better in the business at stealing third than Ricky Henderson.
And nobody blocking Parrish, though it was a poor throw high. The throw actually beat Ricky there, but he didn't get it down. Just outside. 2 balls and a strike, 1 man out. The infield is back except for Howell at third. So anything hit on the ground or fly to the outfield, and Henderson scores. Oh, he couldn't check it. What a pitch that was. Now, that was a good breaking pitch, George. A good slider, it looked like.
They've worked very hard with him in terms of his philosophy of using the breaking ball. The key is not always to throw it for strikes, and that's exactly what he did there. Marcel Latchman has done an exceptional job with pitchers here over the years.
Boy, when you can fool Mattingly like that. And look at this play. Nope, but it went foul. Would have been exciting to see Abbott on that one. So Mattingly now just trying to get a little piece of it. He really threw the bat at the ball. Went out to the mound.
You go back to 1965, the first year when the baseball draft came into being. Abbott is the 10th pitcher to skip the minor leagues and go directly to the major leagues. All other 9 eventually went back to the minor leagues for some point in time.
Grande, though, speaks very highly of this kid. I like the way he talked about him. Lays the palm of the glove on his hand. And that'll get the run in. And Chili Davis makes the catch, tagging up Henderson, scores easily. And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead on a sacrifice fly by Mattingly.
Number 29, right fielder, Jesse Barfield.
Henderson and Mattingly being congratulated. And Abbott now will pitch to Jesse Barfield, who got his first home run of the year as a Yankee. Barfield batting 187 overall, with as the Yankees 148. He's 4 for 27 in a New York uniform. Might curve a little low, ball 1. Fastball by him, 1-1.
He has a live fastball, but it's a fastball that you have to complement to win in the major leagues with, and that's what he's been working on. The off-speed pitch, the slider, and the breaking ball to give him the complete package that he needs to be successful in the major leagues. He can throw, there's no doubt about that, and he gets high ratings for all the intangibles, the intestinal fortitude, and his ability to think as a baseball player, and his ability to field, too.
All right. Again, good fastball, a little bit high. But as George said, if he doesn't have the other pitches to go with it, he'll just sit back and wait for the fastball, and then he'll be in trouble. But if he keeps throwing breaking pitches like he did to Mattingly, he'll really be rough. Good slider. And he called it a ball. 3-1. 2 men out, and the Yankees on top 1-0 here in the top of the first inning. And after that bad pitch, he was looking for the fastball, got the slider again, same as with Mattingly, out of the strike zone.
And as you can tell, Scooter, the switch has been made. He is wearing his familiar number 29 now. He swapped with Dave LaPointe. LaPointe had 29, and when Jesse came over, he asked for it, and LaPointe gave it to him.
Fastball, fouled it off. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Barfield was also elated today. He's been waiting for over a month for his delivery of bats, and he got his new bats.
He laid off the slider and gets a base on ball. So a 2-out walk to Barfield, and that'll bring up Steve Balboni. Balboni batting 197 with 3 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, and 11 runs batted. Strike one. The B-boys on the Yankees are all batting under 200. Balboni, Barfield, and Brookins.
You've made a study on this. Have you figured out why?
No. I have
some alphabetical reason.
No, I don't know. I just happened to look to see who was batting over 200. And we've got 3 men in the lineup under 200. Well, with one swing of the bat, any of them can hit one out of here. High and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This is one hitter where the breaking ball certainly is important for Jimmy Abbott, because if he does not keep Balboni off balance, if he doesn't keep him on his front foot, then Balboni is dangerous at the plate.
No doubt about it. In batting practice, he hits him halfway up in the bleachers. Got him. Good quick slider, but the Yankees pick up a run, and on the top of the first inning, it's the Yankees 1 and the Angels coming to bat.
Participating advertisers in New York Yankee baseball are Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. GE, from satellites to medical systems, we bring good things to life. New York's Lotto, all you need is $1 and a dream. Watch for the lottery drawings on WPIX. By Dodge, visit your tri-state Dodge dealer, where the new spirit shows. And by the New York Yankees. Back at Anaheim, a check of the starting lineup for the California Angels. Brian Downing, the designated hitter, leading off. Wally Joyner playing first, batting in the number 2 position. Hitting third will be Johnny Ray, the second baseman. Center field, Devon White will be hitting in the number 4 position. Chili Davis, 5. Lance Parrish, 6. Dante Bichette, 7th, playing right field. Jack Howell at 3rd, and Dickie Schofield batting 9th and playing shorts. And Richard Dotson will be the starting pitcher for the New York Yankees tonight. And as Downing steps in, here's the scooter.
All right, so Dotson, as George told you, had a fine outing his last time. Surprised Dallas Green, so he's getting another start. And Brian Downing, man of many different stances, takes a fastball high, ball 1. Downing hitting .287, 3 doubles, a triple, 4 homers, and 14 runs batted in. Strong man. Strike 1, 1-1.
Scooter for Richard Dotson. He throws a basic fastball, curve, and changeup, and the key for him tonight will be that changeup. He was able to get it over against the White Sox in his first start of the year, and he needs to do it against a fastball hitting club like California.
Oh, deep to left, but Ricky's back and gets it on the warning track. Didn't fool Downing on that one. He almost did, but didn't take quite enough off.
First baseman, Wally Joyner.
Downing's made a living, a 15-year veteran, at hitting balls like that for extra bases.
Yep. So now Wally Joyner will face Dotson. Joyner having an off year at .225. Curve low, ball 1. Got 5 doubles, a triple, only 1 homer, and 10 runs batted in. Foul back, 1-1.
Joyner's a .290 lifetime hitter, but he's hit over .300 against the Yankees, .303 in his career. And from a perspective of this year, they're just waiting for him to catch fire, and they figure with the pitching that they've had, if they start hitting, and Joyner especially, that they should be able to get on a roll.
All right, and we'll talk about their pitching in a moment. Hit him right on the hands, and Espinosa one-hands it low, but grilled by Mattingly. Holy cow, he saves infield. A ton of errors. I mean, that was a wicked hop, and Mattingly stayed with it. He does not flinch.
Batting third, number 3.
One of the few times that you see a bad throw from Alvaro Espinosa.
Yes.
Comes in, scoops it one-handed, and then as he comes up off the toes, digs this one into the dirt, and Mattingly comes like El Toro.
Yes, he did. Exactly. Beautiful wave of the cape. Only this was a glove. And Johnny Ray takes a curve low, ball 1.
Like he was going to the bullfights a little south of here, right?
Yep. And down Mexico way.
You ever been down south of the border while you visited here?
No. Nope. Had him way out in front and a change of pace. I know it's not too far away. But I don't want to go down there. I mean,
you got enough to keep you occupied here.
Yes. Oh, I said you.
Everybody wants to take you to lunch or dinner.
Yep. But a bouncer, fair ball. Mattingly's got it. Races to the bag. Oh, 1, 2, 3 inning for Dotson, and at the end of 1 full inning, it's the Yankees 1, the Angels nothing.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and WPIX and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game or any segment thereof without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and WPIX is prohibited. Set to go here in the top of the 2nd inning. Don Slaught will step in against Jim Abbott.
The catcher,
Slaught in his home territory, the former captain of the UCLA Bruins for 2 years just north of here in Los Angeles, is like he's in a second home being in Anaheim for this weekend.
All right, he'll try and show a lot of his fans just what he can do, and he is batting .291 with 7 doubles, 3 triples, a homer, and 16 runs batted in. The right one. Jim Abbott on the mound. Slaught's been changing his stance. Now he's gone to the open stance. First swing, his legs were straight away. And a curveball drilled foul. Slaught thought it had gone over the bag fair. Boy, he hit that hard. That's that curveball that got him in trouble with Henderson. He's got to get that down out of the strike zone like you mentioned, George.
Something that we can sit up here and talk about, and Marcel Latchman and Doug Rader can talk about it a lot with Jimmy, but it's a question of him getting confidence in it and being able to throw it when he wants to throw it. And that's what maturity and being a major league pitcher is all about.
Yep. And he's got to keep it from being too good. Foul back on the screen. Still 0-2. Strange part of the country out here, George. It's time for me to go to sleep, and here we're just starting to work. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
When you come out here, you don't pray for extra innings, do you?
No, no way. I can barely make it back to the hotel. Beautiful part of the country, no doubt about it. There's that curve hanging, but it's way outside, 2-2.
It's amazing from when you first started to come out here to see how this area around Anaheim, south of Los Angeles, has grown.
Man, unbelievable. There's that good slider down low, and he just fouled it off.
It's amazing to watch this young man as he gets ready to play defense.
Yeah,
it's like one motion.
Yes, he transposes the glove from the one arm onto the other hand, then a little high, 3-2. So he was ahead 0-2. Now the count is full. Looked like he was having trouble loosening up. He keeps swinging his arms around during warm-up. He laid off. And it's ball 4. Looks like he's trying to put a little extra on his fastball.
Number 12, third baseman.
Had never had any control problems. But in 31 innings before tonight, he had walked 12, and he's walked 2 tonight. Here's Tom Brookins. Brookins batting 167. Has a double, a couple of homers, and a slider is over. Strike one called.
This is a man at the plate who can play the hit and run pretty good, and you're not going to send Slaughter as a steal, but good opportunity and a time when the Yankees may try hit and run.
1-1. Slaughter not getting a big lead at all. And a high fly to shallow right field. Bichette makes the catch, and there's one man out. Slaughter remains at first. By the way, happy birthday. Happy 65th birthday to Ellis Moore. He's the father of our dandy director, John Moore.
All right.
What do you like? He's got a father almost young enough to be my son.
No.
Almost.
No. Scooter, I learned from my father that age is in the mind.
In the mind.
You will be forever young.
Except for my wrist. I can get rid of this arthritis.
Is it any better out here in this weather?
No.
So,
A lot of smog. Foul by Espinosa.
no golf this trip then, huh?
Nope. Nope. Espinosa batting .264, 199 runs batting.
Gonna go to Disneyland?
Yes. Went over to Disneyland. I love it over there.
No matter what age you are, it's a beautiful place.
I
isn't
think
it?
there are more adults over there than kids, really.
We're all kids when we walk in those gates.
Yep. Curve just outside. 1-1. I don't think Walt Disney himself, who was passed away, ever thought it would be as great as it has been. Unbelievable. And they're putting them up all over now. Japan, big one in Florida. Abbott steps back off the rubber. Yankees leading 1-0 here, top of the second. He just can't seem to relax and be loose. Good fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's been a strength to this California team so far. It has been right here in their pitching. They're #1 in the American League with an earned run average of 2.61. Oakland is next at 3.07. They've just been exceptional so far this year.
All the pitchers in the West are doing so much better than the pitchers in the East in both leagues. Foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The team with the best pitching, the California Angels, managed by that man, Doug Rader. Of course, before that, managed the Texas Rangers, and for a couple of brief games, the Chicago White Sox. And the team with the worst pitching statistics so far at the bottom of the league, the New York Yankees, with an ERA of 4.64.
Ooh. Foul back. Stays alive.
It's an indication of how important the bullpen has been to the Yankees so far this year to be where they are, to be at the 500 level with the
They have
worst.
the game out on them. And you're right, they've given up the most runs of any pitching staff. There it is out. That is the pitching staff out there in the bullpen. And a ground ball, base hit. And Schwartz going to try for third. And I'll tell you, what a bad play by the center fielder. I don't think that he thought Schwartz was going to go. He nonchalanted that ball, picked it up one-handed, didn't throw right away. Devon White.
White is a young man who has a good throwing arm. It can be somewhat erratic at times, but he is known as having a good arm. So you're taking a chance when you're around the bag, and had he not lost that ball in his glove momentarily and then double pump, watch him, he scoops down. You don't see it here, but Slaughter is digging, and if the ball had gotten off, you can see the throw. He's got a strong arm.
Yep.
Somewhat erratic, and Lee Elia, give him credit, made the call at the right time. Yankees have first and third now.
All right, here's Roberto Kelly. And just fouled outside of third. Kelly was really pulling that ball as George and I were watching him in batting practice. He's batting .290, 6 doubles, a triple, a homer, 12 runs batted in. But he had been getting a reputation of not being a pull hitter, and maybe the pitchers were starting to pitch him inside, and so he figures he better start pulling a few. I know he's got power to the opposite field. Abbott throwing a joiner, but Espinosa no big lead there. Yankees leading 1-0 in the top of the second, 1 man out. Strike 2, and that was a tough pitch for Kelly to hit. 0-2.
Jim Abbott gets his pitch in on your hands and down low. He nips the outside corner low, but with Kelly in the driver's seat 0-2, you can look for him to come back and try to get him low and inside.
Right. He spins that ball around just before he threw it up and struck him out. That young man showed us something there. Yeah, Rader said he can handle situations. You know, George, I've never seen anybody spin the ball the way he does just before he's ready to pitch it. Because if he drops that ball, it's a balk.
I think the difference is sometimes pitchers do it, but they're hiding it in their glove, and we don't see it. But here, he has no glove to shield it, so you're seeing it out in the open. And it's amazing he doesn't drop the ball more times than he does.
He lays it on the back of the glove. I hope that's not his good move, because right there he's just throwing to first base.
That's his check move. He does not have an exceptional move, and his delivery to the plate is poorer than average. So people around the league figure that they can run on him and they can take some liberties on the base paths.
Hard Ricky Henderson, who doubled off the wall in left center field, stole a base, his 16th of the year, and scored the only run of this ball game. He's up there. Runners at first and third. Now there are 2 out. You see Abbott swinging. He still looks like he's between the shoulders or on top of the shoulders. He just keeps loosening up. High, ball 1.
As we've talked about earlier this year, especially when Al Leiter was with the Yankees and Billy Connors was working with him on the slide step, the California Angels have also worked on the slide step with Jim Abbott to try to help him cut down his delivery time with a runner on first base. They don't use it that often with him, though. He's not comfortable with it yet.
See, he doesn't spin the ball while he's holding it behind him. It's while he lays it on the back of his glove. Just now you get a shot from this angle. 2 balls, no strikes. Now watch when he brings it right there. There you see him spinning it right there. Low, 3-0.
And here's an example we've talked about a couple times this year where it's important to watch that runner. But with a hitter of Henderson's caliber at the plate, you dig yourself a hole now, 3-0 or even 2-0, and you give him a good pitch to hit, and Ricky can pull the trigger on that pitch.
Yep. Ball 4. That's the 3rd walk given up by young Jim Abbott. We're going to get a visit from the pitching coach right here.
I think one of the things that the Marcel Latchman and the entire staff of this California Angels team have been trying to do is to be very solid in the way they handle Jim Abbott and bring him along slowly. And Latchman is a great teacher. He's been well respected in baseball for many years, and over the years has helped a number of pitchers that have come through here.
You can hear Sachs getting greeted again. Sachs was thrown out by Abbott trying to sacrifice Henderson at third his first time up, but he bunted it hard back to the box, and Abbott threw him out. Now bases loaded, 2 out. And bounced to third off his glove. And a run scores, and that'll be a base hit. And it's surprising that he was playing that far off the line with Sachs batting. And a left-hand pitcher out there. It's a base hit and an RBI. Slaught scores.
Take another look at it. Pounded down to third. Howell gets a glove on it, and it's like he's trying to look up and see what to do where everybody's running. And by that time he does look up, the ball's off the heel of his glove. And last year he made 13 of his 17 errors at home. For whatever reason, he just does not play as good a defensive third base here as he does on the road.
Nope. That was a hit, though. They gave him a base hit on that one, but he was way out of position.
Play he could have had.
Yes, absolutely. Mattingly hit a sacrifice fly his first time up. The Yankees are leading 2-0. And a big lead by Espinosa at third base, but he's just trying to bother Abbott. And he popped Mattingly up. And Johnny Ray at second base makes the catch. He gets out of another tough jam, allowing just 1 run. Leaves the bases loaded at the end of an inning and a half. The Yankees 2 and the Angels nothing.
Back in Anaheim, Richard Dotson set to begin his second inning of work. Got through the first inning 1-2-3. And an important outing for Dotson after the impressive first time out against the Chicago White Sox. The Yankees very definitely, with Candelaria down. And incidentally, he did undergo arthroscopic surgery. John Candelaria did in Fort Lauderdale today to hopefully start him on the road back to good health. But he'll be out for at least a month, possibly as long as 2, depending on his rehab. But Richard Dotson's presence in the rotation is even more critical now as we go to the bottom of the second, and Devon White steps in against Dotson.
All right, White having an outstanding year, batting .298, 8 doubles, 5 triples, 3 homers, and 19 runs batted in. And takes it low, ball 1. That's about the only offensive category that the Angels have a man up on top with his 16 extra base hits. 2 balls, no strikes.
To be effective, Richard Dotson has to be ahead of hitters. That way he can use the changeup and be able to work the count. When he gets behind, he puts himself behind the 8 ball.
Yep, there's a good pitch. Got right in on the hands and yet hit the inside corner.
You watched them all last year, Scooter. He gave up 27 home runs, and it just was not the Richard Dotson that people had seen.
No way. And slide deep to center, but Kelly's got the room on the warning track and makes the catch. Man, I tell you, this White's got good power. That was a low pitch that he golfed, and it almost went out of here. Kelly turned around, couldn't realize he was that close to the fence. 1 man out. Watch this one. Uppercut. He didn't hit that on a good part. And Kelly's going to look back at the wall after he makes the catch. Look at this.
Where am I? How close am I here? He spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks backing up against walls, coming down with some pretty good shots.
Man, that one catch. That'll have to go in the highlights. Here's Chili Davis. Chili batting .232. And ball 1. Borderline pitch there. He's got 4 doubles, 4 homers, and 15 runs batted in. Here's another ball player who potential is great, but he just didn't seem to be able to reach it. And fouled upstairs out of play. 1-1.
This is a team that is predominantly a first ball, fastball hitting team. They like to go after you, and Davis is a perfect example of that. You give him a fastball, especially on the first or second pitch, and chances are he's going to jump on it as he tried to jump on that last pitch.
Whoa, right between the legs. That was pretty tricky there. He'd have been hitting. Look at him laughing. He didn't know what to do. He was going to bunt that ball, but watch this. Steps right over. But, gee, just got it out of the way in time. You don't want to get hit in the ankle.
You look up and down this lineup, and Joyner, Ray, White, Davis can all bunt.
Yep. Hard grounder right at Sachs. Over to Mattingly, and 2 men are out.
For Steve Sachs, this has been somewhat of a homecoming after being with the Dodgers in Los Angeles. And his wife, Debbie, came out with him and is at the ball game tonight. Gets a chance to visit friends and people that supported him in his great career here with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Fans still feel a little bit wronged by the fact that he did leave as a free agent, and they've responded tonight with the boos that you've seen.
All right, here's Lance Parrish. Takes the ball. He was looking for that. He looks for a fastball all the time. Parrish hitting .238, 6 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 12 runs batted in.
Fastball pull hitter from day one.
Pulled the string, but a little low, 2-0.
Went back to Detroit this past week and got a standing ovation his first time up, and he said it was one of the most memorable moments he's had in quite some time.
Well, since he left the Tigers, he has not hit at all. That's low, 3-0. Went to the Phillies, a big disappointment. Came here, and as we told you, he's just batting .238. Oh, 3-0. And Espinosa. 3 up, 3 down. And the score after 2 innings of play, the Yankees 2, the Angels nothing. Now let's pause for station identification.
No. In Anaheim, the fellow with the glasses sitting behind the Yankee dugout, Sid Thrift, who was watching the club take batting practice today and also watching his waistline. Sid and Billy Connors, a pitching coach for the Yankees, both on one of those liquid diets, Scooter. You know, you drink the liquids
I
a
don't
couple of times
believe in
a day.
those.
No, I don't. I think the only way you lose weight, there's Billy. He looks like he's hungry, doesn't he? Feed this man, please.
Yes, he looks like he likes to eat. All right, Abbott now will be pitching to Jesse Barfield. He walked Jesse his first time up. And, whoa. See, Parrish almost fainted on that one. I don't blame him. That was a good strike. But he's still throwing that hanging curveball. 2 balls, no strikes.
Umpires tonight, Tim Welke behind the plate, Jim Evans at first, John Shulock at second, and Dan Morrison, the third base umpire, as a Yankee fan looks on.
Hey, that's gone. Man, did he cream that. Holy cow. Halfway up the bleachers. Well, as you mentioned, George, gets behind, he's got to come in with that fastball. And fans, you know what happens every time a Yankee hits a home run. Hey, Jesse Barfield, this bud's for you. His second home run as a Yankee. Oh, George, you said he was happy to get his new assortment of bats, his own. Funny, a guy hits a home run, he makes sure he gets everybody. Gets a couple of guys twice.
And he's also happy to get number 29 back, and he celebrates the new number, the new uniform, with a home run, his second as a Yankee, and he hit that one hard.
And now the Yankees lead 3-0. Let's see somebody he missed. Okay. Steve Balboni. He's liable to go up in the stands in it with a couple of high fives. Balboni struck out his first time. Fouls it at the plate.
Right behind him, sitting on the bench, was Dave LaPointe, the Yankee pitcher who gave up the number 29 to Jesse, and now LaPointe is wearing number 42.
Yeah, a little disconsolate, the young man. Got him on the hands, he fouled it back. 0-2 the count.
Such a fine line between a good pitch and a bad pitch, and when it's a good hitter, even a good pitch can go.
Yep.
You get behind, you pay the price usually.
Laid off. That's the pitch Steve cannot handle. Fastball up and in. No one out. Fouls it back.
Had a chance to see one of your favorite baseball people here this week, Scooter, and that's Jimmy Reese.
Oh, what a legend he is. I tell you. Amazing man. How old is he? He's got to be in his 80s.
He's in his 80s. He's been in baseball for 70 years.
Unbelievable. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Coach with the California Angels and one of the premier fungo hitters in all of baseball.
Oh, he handled. I was watching him hit fungos to the pitchers, making them run in the outfield. There he is. There's a good shot of him in the Angel jacket. Or room with the great Babe Ruth.
Well, he said he roomed with his bags most of the time because Babe wasn't around that much. Took a lot of phone messages for him and everything else.
Full count. And, oh, man, look at how far that one is going. Holy cow. Rough night for young Jim Abbott.
Jim Abbott is trying to collect himself and say, let's get back on track here. Having trouble getting the breaking ball over.
Boney went after a bad pitch there. I tell you, he's liable to come around if the Yankees don't get to him in the first and second innings. The Yankees could have scored a mess of runs. They only got 1 in each inning. They've got 1 here. And line to right field. And I don't know whether he misplayed that ball, but Bichette did not get a good jump on it. And then instead of charging it, he kind of took a step forward, stopped, and dropped in for a base hit.
Dante Bichette has had some difficulty in the outfield the last few games. And this one, he gets a late start on it. And by the time he tries to catch up to it, it's a base hit. He was not able to get to a ball in Detroit, and that helped them in their rally that eventually gave the Tigers a win.
What a tough break that was for McCaskill. Had a shutout in the 9th inning, and George said he misplayed a line drive by Matt Noakes, and it went for a double and 2 RBIs.
McCaskill and Blyleven have been just exceptional. McCaskill's earned run average is right around 1, and Blyleven is a little over 1, 1.9, and like Langston the other day had trouble in the 9th.
Yep. Strike 2, 0-2 on Don Slaught. Slaught walked and scored his first time up. Been a lot of no-hitters broken up in the 9th inning this year, all around both leagues.
It's tough to lose a no-hitter as Langston did, but then he wound up losing the ball game too. Boy, that was tough to take.
Low inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's Jimmy Reese. Oh, here he is. Watch him handle this. I mean,
has him in pregame warm-ups. He's hitting that, and he hit it right to somebody, a catcher. I mean, it's like throwing it.
Yep. Struck him out. Well, every once in a while, he pops a fastball in there and throws it by these hitters. That's his 2nd strikeout. 3rd strikeout. He's had 1 in each inning now. Got that easy motion, and then all of a sudden that ball is on you. Well, you fans get a chance to come out and watch him. You just get the binoculars on this kid for a couple innings. Fouled back, strike 1. Brookins flying to right field his first time up.
Of course, the California Angels will be in Yankee Stadium a little bit later this month. California, Oakland, Seattle all coming in the last 2 weeks of the month of May.
There's that good fastball again. Well, that's all they play are Western teams now for about a month, right?
What a schedule. I know the Yankees will be glad to get home after the stretch of 2/3 of their games in the last month have been on the road.
I know. We're hardly home.
You enjoy the plane rides, though.
No. You know, I almost made it all the way out here without getting panicky. Inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4.5 hours, I was the same flyer. Had a few lollipops, saw the movie with Burt Reynolds, but that last hour and a half, I went bananas. was a basket case. High, 2-2.
Burt Reynolds movie, huh?
Yeah.
I got a magazine on my flight out. That's about it. I'm taking the wrong flight.
Well, it's not going to win any Academy Awards. Hit deep to left, and that's gone. Holy cow, bad night for Abbott. A 2-run homer for Brookins. And fans, you know what happens every time a Yankee hits a home run. Hey, Tom Brookins, this bud's for you. And more importantly, the Yankees lead 5-0.
That's Marcel Latchman on the phone to the bullpen. Steve Sachs, Bruce Brookins. Jim Abbott upset with himself after giving Brookins the home run. Watch Brookins as he gets this inside fastball, and he hits it well. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees here in the 3rd inning. And Latchman will come out and give his bullpen a little time to get ready.
2 homers and a single in this inning. And there's Brookins. His 3rd home run.
You mentioned the players that have been under 200, and Tom Brookins is one of them. That's Frank Howard, the hitting coach and outfield coach, who's been working with these hitters. Brookins is one of them. Roberto Kelly, and been a little bit of a slump in the last couple of weeks, and Hondo's been working with him. And it's not a precise art. You try a number of different things, and hopefully something works along the road. And I know Tom Brookins is hopeful that this is a sign that he's starting to come out of it.
He's lucky to have a guy like Frank Howard. Boy, he's got patience and loves to teach. Stay out all hours. Foul back, strike 1. Boy, that was a bullet.
You know, Scooter, you hit the nail right on the head in the locker room before the game tonight. Bob McClure, who pitches with the California Angels, said, boy, one of the guys I respect most in this game of baseball is Frank Howard. He was with him in Milwaukee.
Ground ball to first base, foul.
He said in the days in Milwaukee, no matter how bad things got or no matter how difficult a day it was, Frank Howard was always there to put in an encouraging word, to give somebody a pat on the back when they were 0 for 4 and made an error or whatnot. It's a question of outlook on life, and that's what Frank Howard always has, a positive outlook on life.
Pretty. Talk about power. That man had it. He hit some of the longest home runs, along with Mickey Mantle, ever hit in the American League.
He said to Jimmy Reese before the game, he said, Jimmy Reese, you're one of the greatest fungo hitters at all time. Second to me. They were kidding each other a little bit.
There they are, Reese and Howard. Espinosa singled his first time up. 1 man out here in the top of the 3rd. Strike. Really unbelievable. He's got 4 strikeouts. It's a weird game for Abbott. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 2 home runs really hurt him.
It's a difference at this level of baseball. Even if your fastball is moving, you have to come back to the hitters if you're not getting ahead, and that's what's hurt him.
Right. Kelly struck out first time up, and the curve is low, ball 1. $5-0 Yankees leading. Strike 1-1. Alice Green. Good to see a manager chewing gum instead of tobacco. Oh.
You don't like those chores, huh?
No.
Did you ever try chewing?
Tried it once, got sick as a dog. Oh, I don't know how they do it. Got to swallow some of it. And foul way in the upper deck, out of play.
Series here have always been interesting, haven't they? You know, one team gets 6 runs, another team gets shut out, then the next day somebody else comes back and gets 12 runs.
Oh, man, that pitch was outside the strike zone, but he strikes out the side, but in between there were 2 homers and a single. The Yankees pick up 3, and at the end of 2.5, it's the Yankees 5 and the Angels nothing.
Power up at Citgo.
There's a fan enjoying the night here in Anaheim, and there have been a lot of fans to come through those turnstiles here. Last year, the Angels had over 18,000 season tickets sold. That was #1 in baseball, and this year they even surpassed their total from last year. And with a winning club, they figure to have pretty good numbers. Add the All-Star game, which will be here in July, and it should be a banner year for fans here in Southern California, as Dante Bichette, Jack Howell, and Dick Schofield are scheduled to face Richard Dotson here in the bottom of the 3rd.
All right, George, and they always draw well here in California. Normally get good weather. It gets a little chilly at night around this time of the year, though. Pitch is high to Bichette, ball 1. He's batting .221, 6 doubles, 2 homers, and 10 runs batted in. Bounce to short. Nice hop, Espinosa. Look how quickly he gets rid of that ball. He does so much better when he doesn't have to throw hard, but when he has to, he can. Outside of that one low throw tonight.
3rd baseman.
7 in a row set down. 5 of the 7 ground outs. The other 2 fly balls. Watch how quickly he gets rid of it. First baseman loved that. Look how he got him out by 5 steps. Here's Jack Howell. He laid off. He did not swing as Slaught wants an appeal play. Third base umpire Dan Morrison said no, and he didn't. Howell hitting just .174. 4 doubles, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. And it's popped foul out of play. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Yanks leading 5-0, bottom of the 3rd.
Jack has more home runs against the Yankees than any other Eastern Division team. 7 career home runs against New York. He's had some memorable ones in the last couple of years.
Low, 2-1. Some of you might be wondering why Claudel Washington isn't playing tonight. Unfortunately, Claudel is home with his daughter, who is under the weather. A little swing and a miss. 1, 2, and 2.
Unbelievable story, Scooter. She was in the bedroom, his young daughter, and hit a wire from a lamp that was up on a shelf. The lamp fell and hit her in the back of the neck by the top of the spine and paralyzed her.
Struck him out.
And for a couple of days, she had no feeling at all.
Batting 9.
The doctors say that it was temporary and that she would start to come around, and she did. She was released from the hospital today, and she is home, and Claudel has rejoined the club tonight. So he finally is back with the team, but there's Claudel. In fact, before the game, he said he wanted to pass on thanks from people in the Yankee organization and back in New York that have sent him good wishes for his daughter. But she's fine. She's doing okay.
All right. Strike 1 to count. Dick Schofield about it. Schofield batting .256, a double, and 3 runs batted in. 1-1. Fair ball right down the line. So after retiring 8 in a row, Schofield comes up with a double. That ball went by Brookins before he had a chance to move. Right down the line.
Dick Schofield, only a .256 hitter on the year. But against the Yankees, he's had some key hits and likes the ball down low. He got the ball low there and on the inside part of the plate, and Brookins never really had a chance to get to it as it bounced right in front of the bag, inches in front of the bag to stay fair.
All right, Brian Downing fly to left field deep his first time up. So that's the first base runner and the first hit for the Angels against Richard Dotson. Strike one.
A year ago, Downing hit .340 against the Yankees and ended the year like a ball of fire against them.
Yeah, he hit a few home runs too. Ground ball. Nice play by Brookins. Good throw, and they got him. Pretty play. So nothing across, a man left. And on the Citgo scoreboard at the end of 3, it's the Yankees 5, the Angels nothing. Okay. Well, we got a new pitcher on the mound. And it's a shame, but young Jim Abbott pitched 3 innings where he gave up 5 runs, 6 hits, and struck out 5. And Dan Petrie will be taking over for him, and taking over for me will be George Grande.
Thank you very much, Scooter. Dan Petrie, who made his name, of course, with the Detroit Tigers. Just trying to get some innings in. He's only pitched 7 innings so far this year, and before the game was saying, I know my time's going to come. I don't know when, but I want to get in there and be a contributor. Henderson, Sachs, and Mattingly scheduled up as we go to the top of the order. In the top of the 4th, the Yankees lead it 5-0. Henderson, his first time up, doubled to left field, then stole third, and later scored on Mattingly's sacrifice fly to give the Yankees their first run. Hit high in the air to center field. Over his White. Nonchalants it for the out. There's 1 down.
Got some quick scores here. Man, the Mets lost a tough one in 12 innings, 4-3 to San Diego. Houston defeated the Cubs 3-1. It was Pittsburgh 10, Atlanta 2. Phillies 3, Dodgers nothing. San Francisco 2 and Montreal 1. And Cincinnati shut out St. Louis 5-0. A lot of low hit games in the National League. We'll give you the American League in just a little while.
Steve Sachs steps in against Dan Petrie.
Detroit beat Cleveland 6-3. Minnesota beat Toronto 6-5. Baltimore beat the White Sox 9-6. Kansas City over Texas 4-3. Boston shut out Seattle 1-0. And Milwaukee beat Oakland 3-2.
Inside ball 2, 2-0. The count to Steve Sachs, who grounded out to the pitcher, attempting to bunt. The sacrifice. Good play by Abbott. And then had an infield hit to third his second time up, 1 for 2. Jim Abbott, yes, did give up a couple of long balls, but he was victimized by his own defense too tonight, Scooter.
Oh, absolutely. 3 bad plays cost him 3 runs.
2 balls, 1 strike to Sachs.
Listen, I pulled a couple of rocks here, George. That score with Milwaukee at Oakland 3-2 is only in the top of the 2nd. And Boston and Seattle is 1-0 top of the 6th. As is Chicago at Baltimore there in the top of the 9th, with Baltimore leading 9-6.
Thought those West Coast games went a little faster than ours.
I tell you, out here,
you just want to go home early.
I'm confused. I'm trying to get everything over with quick.
You want to get back to Disneyland tomorrow morning, huh?
Yep. The only bad thing is this game is going to be a long one.
Think positive. Think positive. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for the California Angels. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the top of the 4th, Petrie delivering to Sachs. And the Yankees have another base runner. So Sachs is 1 for 2 and a walk. And that'll bring up Don Mattingly. His sacrifice fly to left field brought in the Yankees' first run, and then popped out to end the 2nd inning to second base. Sacks on the year, 8 for 13 in stolen bases as he leads off first. It was a interesting scene before the game because this is the first time the Yankees have seen the California Angels this year. They didn't even see them in spring training, of course. The Angels train in Palm Springs and in California. So for many of the players, it was the first time they had a chance to see members of the California and Yankee teams for '89. Some of them with new clubs. This man, one of them, only 3 wins last year, which was for him a career low. There goes Sacks. Pitch is high. The throw is high, too, and Sacks has the base stolen.
It's 2 throws now that Parrish has thrown high, and both times he could have had the runner. He used to have a gun when he was with the Tigers.
Sacks gets a good jump to start it, and then to end it, Parrish's throw is high, and it sails. You can see the difference.
Yeah.
Lance Parrish still has basic good fundamentals, but his arm has lost the zip that it once had.
Yep.
Many think a lot of that has to do with the back troubles he's had.
Yeah, he's always had them his whole career. Petrie was getting over arm problems the last couple of years. And he was outstanding pitcher for the Tigers and then lost it. And he, like Dotson, trying to come back.
Petrie picked up from the Tigers for Gary Pettis back in the winter last year. Fly ball center field. Sack stays about 15 feet off the bag. White comes in. And there are 2 down. That'll bring up Jesse Barfield. Barfield walked in the first inning and then hit a laser beam to left field for a home run that gave the Yankees a 3-0 lead. Barfield's 7th home run of the year, and now a total of 15 runs batted in for the year as well. Of those 7, 5 came with the Toronto Blue Jays with number 29 on his back. 1 came with a number 28 on his back in New York, and now 1 with a 29 on his back. That's funny how some players can be superstitious about numbers. Were you superstitious about that?
Yeah,
about your number?
Not numbers, no. I had the same number all the time. So
even in before you came up, when you were in the minor
yeah.
leagues? No balls, 1 strike to Barfield. 2 out, Sacks on second. Was there a reason for number 10?
Just started out with it, kept it. Lucky to get it with the Yankees, and one of the 3 numbers they had.
Even when you joined them, there weren't many numbers, and there are even fewer now.
That's right. Even 10 is not free anymore.
That's right. Hit down the line and foul.
Look at the bat. How many pieces that bat broke into?
You know, Jesse Barfield's not going to like saying goodbye to that bat. He's
nope.
hit a shot with it.
Ooh, that is shattered. He hit one 9 miles the second time up with it.
Did you ever dream when you came to the major leagues that your number would be retired?
Are you kidding? I never dreamed I'd get in the major leagues. And then each year was a dream.
That's what's great about this game. Take a look at Barfield as he saws this one off. And he doesn't really hit that in a bad part of the bat either. Here's one of his new pieces of lumber just received today. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Sacks on second. Petrie to Barfield. Lance Parrish was halfway home to the dugout, but couldn't talk Tim Welke into it. 2-2, 2 out. What do you think, Scooter?
What? Oh, that was a strike. I mean, that was a good pitch.
Fly ball, right center field. Plenty of room for White. He has it, and the Yankees are retired in the 4th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The score at Anaheim. The Yankees lead the Angels 5-0.
CD 101.9. Very cool.
You're sure he's coming? He'll be here. As long as I've known Tom. I need help, he's there. We're still short-handed. Yep. Sure, I'm glad to see you.
Reckon you are.
Stay with you?
Figured you wouldn't mind.
And when the last stray's rounded up, you head for the mountains. Bush. And the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream.
Well, sure owe you one.
How about this in here?
Head for the mountains of Bush beer. Eagles.
Sunday at 3:30 on Channel 11.
Back in Anaheim, we'll go to the bottom half of the 4th inning, and this is injury update night. We told you about John Candelaria, who underwent arthroscopic surgery today, and we don't have to tell you who this fellow is.
How you doing?
Big Dave Winfield joining us up in the booth. This is home to you, Big Dave.
Oh, part-time. Sure is. When I'm in California, this is home. This is where I'm rehabilitating.
How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I'm glad to be out at the stadium with the guys.
I know the guys are glad to see you today, too, and had some time to talk to him in the locker room before the game.
Oh, yeah. You know, a little pep talk and, you know, talk to the young guys and make sure Donnie's feeling good. And, you know, the guys are hanging in there. It's still a dogfight in the league.
What'd you tell Donnie today?
Well, it's not what I told him, but, you know, he knows how to hang in there. He's a veteran. He's had some injuries and some problems, but he'll be able to hang in there. Told Pags to keep his head up, too, you know, because you never know when you're going to be called upon. And they're hanging in there.
You sit in with us for a half an inning or so?
I'd really love to.
Okay. Well, you know, you got to look at your career in the future. You know, who knows? You may be up here someday, right?
Who knows?
Bottom of the 4th inning. Back to the top of the order. Last inning was Brian Downing ended the inning, so Wally Joyner steps in against Richard Dotson. The Yankees 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. California no runs, 1 hit, only 1 hit off Dotson so far. And Richard Dotson jumps ahead.
He's pitched well so far. He's been throwing the ball off speed, moving it in and out. That's the way he pitches. Held him to 1 hit so far.
You remember him when he was at his best with the White Sox. He's a different pitcher today, isn't he?
Yes, he is. But, you know, he feels that he can still get back on top if he gets some innings in. And he's getting his opportunity now, so we'll see how he does.
I think one thing that's always been a key for him, he's such a great competitor.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
When he was pitching for the White Sox, he used to come in tight on you, huh?
He'll knock you down, and he'll go away off speed. See? He must have heard him.
He has been the forgotten man for most of the first month, but with John Candelaria down, he becomes a very important part of the Yankees as we look at the 1989 season.
I think his experience is going to help other people on the pitching staff. They look.
Foul back to the left side. Brookins won't have room to get it, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
As I was saying, they'll look to him for leadership as the season moves on. Some of the young pitchers will have to mature, and I think he can hold them together.
Has it been tough for you to sit and watch for the last 6 weeks or so?
Has it been tough? That's an understatement. I'm used to being out there with the guys and traveling, doing what's necessary, but have to go along with the program.
I know you don't miss the traveling, but I know you miss the playing.
Yeah, I do. I miss the playing and staying in shape.
Fly ball, left center field. Kelly on his horse. So is Henderson. Henderson has a beat on it and runs it down on the warning track.
That's a couple of balls that they hit very well to the field. It doesn't seem like it's traveling that far.
Now you look up here, this has been a ballpark where the ball usually moves out of, but tonight it's a little cooler than it normally is here, and the wind, as we look at it, has been blowing in that direction, but a couple of them died a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jesse Barfield and Tom Brookins.
He hammered those two, huh?
Oh, man.
How about that, man? Roberto can go get him, can he?
Yes, he can. Good young player. That's all he's needed was a little experience, and he's gaining that now. He knows he's in there every day, and he knows what to do.
You spent time last year, Dave, I know, as Johnny Ray steps in. Line drive, right center field. That'll be in for a base hit. Kelly has trouble with it as it takes a weird hop, and he'll be in at second after the ball takes a strange hop. Looks like it hit a divot or something in right center field. And by the time Roberto got his hands on it, Johnny Ray was on second base. Take another look at it. Hits it well, low ball hitter, rifles it to right center field. Now watch the hop. It almost skips a little bit, like it was an AstroTurf hop.
Two things I think that happens there. Sometimes it's how they cut the grass, and secondly, there might be a little moisture out there. This is a good field, but occasionally when it gets damp, that ball will take a little skip.
They're going to give Kelly an error, so a single and an error on Roberto Kelly. And that'll bring Devon White to the plate. He's a young man who's really coming into his own in this year.
Extremely talented. Runs the bases very well. Very strong arm from center field.
Fly ball, left field. Henderson on his horse. He's got it. That's what speed can do, right, Dave?
Yes, it can. How's Ricky been playing out there this year?
He's been playing fine. I think he's much more comfortable out there in left. He knows it's his place. It's his home. It's his domain. And with Roberto able to run the field in center, I think he's been very comfortable out there.
Yes. I talked to him a little earlier, and he was mentioning that he wasn't stealing as many bases at this moment because he jammed his shoulders up a little while back, and he didn't want to perpetuate that. He didn't want to keep the shoulders sore. He wanted to recover, so that's why he hadn't been running as much recently.
Chili Davis up.
Okay.
You know, you look at Ricky as Richard Dotson checks the runner at second. Or ball one, and he is one athlete that really, because he's so finely tuned, needs to be 100%, doesn't it, when he's out there?
Seems like that's happening to so many athletes nowadays. The regimen is very good, but if something goes wrong, it's like throwing a speck of dirt in the motor of a Maserati.
Well said. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A base hit and an error by Kelly allowed Ray to second base. Chili Davis at the plate. You had a chance to watch Jimmy Abbott tonight. You were a great college baseball player, and Jimmy was exceptional too. He's got some promise, doesn't he?
Yes. In fact, that's one reason I wanted to come to the game, to see how he's doing. And I don't think people look at him like a handicapped player. He is very talented, and that's why he's here. That's what Mike Port, the general manager, said also.
2-0. Bounced down to first. The man with the vacuum cleaner has it, and that'll do it for Richard Dotson as he leaves one stranded. And we'll go to the 5th inning with the Yankees leading California 5-0. Back in Anaheim, a reminder for you, if you want to stay up to date on the Yankees, stay up to date with the Yankees Magazine. Only $18 for a subscription. Call Yankees Magazine Department at 1-800-543-3600 and order now and get 12 issues of Yankee Magazine and 2 box seats to a selected Yankee home game. For more information, 1-800-543-3600. Steve Alboni hammers one down to the new third baseman, Glenn Hoffman, and there's 1 up, 1 down. Dave Winfield in the booth with us. And Dave, in case you just showed up at the ballpark, we're not back in 1983. That is Steve Balboni with the club now this year. A little bit of surprise, huh?
Yes, it is. I talked to him. He was glad to actually be back in New York. He felt that Seattle just didn't provide the excitement, enthusiasm that New York does. So he's glad to be back.
83 was the year when he was up and down to Columbus, and I know when he did come up, you spent some time talking with him and trying to get him in the frame of mind to be a major league player back then.
I don't know if they had frequent flyer back then, but he sure got a lot of miles.
2 pitches for Dan Petrie and 2 outs as Don Slaught grounds out to first base, and Wally Joyner. Give us an update on how you're coming along.
As good as I can. I had a pretty bad injury, to the back, but I'm going through the regimen that they've given me. It's just a slow rehabilitative process, and I take it a day at a time. Rehab therapy 3 days a week, and I'm doing better all the time. I can walk now.
Hopefully Petrie delivers to Tom Brookins. Hopefully you'll be able to be without pain too. That's, as George Steinbrenner made it so clear when the injury first happened. Baseball is one thing, but being healthy and being able to live a normal life is as important as anything.
I will give him credit that he's been sensitive to the situation, and we haven't always seen eye to eye on a lot of things, but he's been sensitive to that, and he understands and said, take your time, whatever it takes. So he really did say that.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, pitch to Brookins, inside. One thing that the two of you have always had is respect for each other as competitors. There's no doubt about that.
Well, we're both competitors, and we have our goals. I think we believe in the same thing, and that's winning. How to do it, occasionally we've discussed that, but again, he's been sensitive to the situation with me, and he knows more than anything I'd like to be playing baseball right now, but I just can't do that.
3-1 pitch from Petrie to Brookins, fouled off, full count. Can you, in any way, put together a timetable for your progress?
Not really, since it's never happened to me. I'll just be guided by medical judgment and not only what my body tells me, but what they say medically. And they say you have to heal inside first. You feel good and you look good, but you're really not able to perform. That's a long way off. Because baseball is a funny game. There's so much torque. You can stand around for a long time and then have to make a quick move, and it's kind of like golf.
That man would love to have you in the lineup, no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. We talked and joked in the locker room. He knows it's a different team than when he came to the Yankees, but he gives the guys a lot of credit for scrapping for what they've done so far.
Dan Petrie scraps for that one as he strikes out Tom Brookins. Dave Winfield, thanks for taking an inning out and joining us. You're doing pretty good up here. You're going to feel comfortable, but not yet, though. Yankees need you back on the field.
Yeah, it's a long way off, not only from playing, but from the booth. I got about 5-6 good ones left.
Great having you up here, Dave. Best of luck. Get healthy fast.
All right, watch the Yankees win tonight. We got it.
All right, let's go to the bottom of the 5th. The Yankees lead 5-0. Back in Anaheim, California, tonight's trivia quiz. We're here in Anaheim, and the question for you is, who was the winning pitcher in the first game played in Anaheim Stadium, April 19th, 1966? Lance Parrish, Dante Bichette, and Jack Howell is out of the game, and we've got a report on exactly why. He jammed his hand when he was diving for that ball. This one pounded down to third. Brookins over to Mattingly, and there's one down. Tom Brookins came up with an exceptional play last inning and has little trouble with that one as Parrish is retired. That'll bring up Dante Bichette, who grounded out to short his first time up. Howell jammed his hand on that diving play at third base, and they're going to take him in for x-rays just to make sure he's okay. That's why Hoffman came into the lineup for him last inning. Bichette at 221. Richard Dotson so far has been in control, looked comfortable. Count evens at 1-1. Dave Winfield looks good, huh, Scooter?
He looks terrific. Looks like he's got shoulder pads on, though. Looks really good. Hey, Grande, they got 2 hits up there for the Angels. You sure they gave Kelly an error?
Yeah, they gave him a single and an error.
Oh, well.
That's what he said.
I thought you said E8.
1B, E8. Pop up, right field, Barfield in and has it.
1B-E-8.
Yeah.
How do you keep score?
Well, it's, in other words, he gets to one base hit, 1B, 8, and then E8 allowed him to go to second. See, that's what's great about this business. You can
In Brooklyn, we don't keep score that way.
I can't read your score sheet for crying out loud. It's like hieroglyphics. That'll bring up Hoffman for his first at bat tonight. And here's somebody who really came back from the dead, Scooter. Ryan Hoffman, who for so many years was with the Red Sox and then was almost out of baseball.
He was a pretty good ball player up there, too.
He had an ankle injury, and then when they started to take tests, they found out he had a heart abnormality, and fortunately he was able to come back, get into the game, went to the minor leagues, and now has worked his way back up. Hit hard to short. Espinosa comes up throwing. Once again, it's 1-2-3 for Richard Dotson. We'll go to the 6th inning at Anaheim with the Yankees leading the California Angels 5-0. Let's pause for station identification.
What are they doing? Having that beach ball bouncing around again?
Oh, that's it, Scooter. This is the home of the bouncing beach balls. You've had those over the years, haven't you?
Yep.
Start of.
You're liable to see anything out here.
Espinosa, Kelly, and Henderson schedule up against Dan Petrie, who's on in relief of Jim Abbott. Inside ball 1. Petrie has thrown the ball well in the inning plus of work that he's had, and Espinosa on the night had a base hit and struck out 1 for 2. Punch to right center field. White is over quickly and has it. 1 down. White moves smoothly out there, doesn't he?
A little bit like our Roberto Kelly.
Center fielder, Roberto Kelly.
Speak of Mr. Kelly.
There he is.
Roberto struck out his first time up swinging and then struck out his second time up looking to become Jim Abbott's 5th strikeout victim. Abbott had his fastball working but just could not get ahead of the hitters with the breaking ball. You could tell he's got a world of potential, though, can't you? Dan Petrie to Roberto Kelly.
Talking to some of the Angel brass when I went downstairs when Dave came in to sit down. And they said they're not concerned about a game like this because they know what the kid is inside, just as you had mentioned. Made of real stern stuff.
1 ball, 1 strike. Foul back 1 and 2. I think they're planning for the long haul, too. And you look at a pennant race of August and September, and you need some young arms that can pitch. You can't rely on the older arms only.
Right. Oh.
This one hit hard to right field. Back goes Bichette, and he's got it on the warning track. Roberto Kelly hits the ball hard the opposite way. And that's good news for Frank Howard, trying to get him to go that way and hit the ball hard. Gave it a good ride, but Bichette was there to corral it.
Left fielder,
Roberto get a little more down the line, he would have had himself a home run.
That'll bring up Ricky Henderson. He doubled in the first inning, then stole third and scored on Mattingly's sacrifice fly, walked in the second, and then flied out to center field in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 with a run scored. Jim Abbott started, pitched 3 innings, gave up 5 runs and 6 hits, and struck out 5. The Yankees 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error. California, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Half swing. Ray comes up, gets it on the quick hop. Johnny Ray to Wally Joyner, and Ricky Henderson is retired, and so are the Yankees. And Dan Petrie has been effective since coming on for Jim Abbott. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Yankees 5, California nothing. Ah, yes, the trivia question. Back at Anaheim, California, who was the winning pitcher in the first game played in Anaheim Stadium, April the 19th, 1966? The answer, Scooter?
Tommy John.
You're right.
I saw him over at Disneyland today with his kids.
You sound like you want to do one of those Disneyland commercials. Is that true?
I'd like to. With the White Sox, he beat California 3-1, gave up 3 hits in 7 innings. There's TJ.
Doing a little isometric exercise with Yankee trainers Gene Monahan and Steve Donahue looking on. He has a real extensive workout using weights, free weights, and swimming, a little bit of everything. TJ was the winning pitcher, 3-1. Ah, yes, the trivia question. Back at Anaheim, California, who was the winning pitcher in the first game played in Anaheim Stadium, April the 19th, 1966? The answer, Scooter?
Tommy John.
You're right.
I saw him over at Disneyland today with his kids.
You sound like you want to do one of those Disneyland commercials. Is that true?
I'd like to. With the White Sox, he beat California 3-1, gave up 3 hits in 7 innings. There's TJ.
Doing a little isometric exercise with Yankee trainers Gene Monahan and Steve Donahue looking on. He has a real extensive workout using weights, free weights, and swimming, a little bit of everything. TJ was the winning pitcher, 3-1. He was pitching for the White Sox back then. They beat California, gave up 3 hits in 7 innings. Richard Dotson, so far in this one, has given up only 2 hits. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, as Dick Schofield steps in, a .256 hitter on the year. 0-2, and Dotson's doing what he had to do, and that's get ahead in the count. He's done exactly that so far tonight.
I wonder if that airplane bothered Schofield. A paper airplane floated down just outside of the batter's box.
It's California, right, Scooter?
That's it.
His dad was a pretty good shortstop, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Good hitter, too.
And he's very proud of his son, the way he's become an exceptional major leaguer. No balls, 2 strikes, no one out. Dotson to Schofield. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive. You know, you talk about high school athletes. When he played ball in Griffin High in Springfield, Illinois, he lettered in baseball, basketball, and golf.
And paper airplane. No, he was an outstanding athlete.
You know, I could never make those. I could, you know, I make them and they go down like the Titanic, and I could throw them. Did you make them?
Yeah, I make them a little different way.
All right, you have to fill us in on it.
All right. Ooh.
Line shot, left field, base hit. Henderson up quickly, and he'll hold Schofield to a single.
Isn't that something? Schofield not hitting anything or anybody. He only had 10 base hits before tonight.
Back to the top of the order, and Brian Downing. Downing flied to left his first time up, and then grounded to third on an exceptional play by Brookins in the 3rd inning. The Yankees lead at 5-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error for New York. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the California Angels. That man right there owns most of the offensive records for this California Angels franchise. And as implausible as it seemed when he first started in baseball, he also is the man that holds the American League record of errorless games, consecutive errorless games in the outfield with 244. He was never a spectacular outfielder, but he did the job. Hit over Brookins' outstretched hand into left field for a base hit. And the Angels have 2 on and no one out here in the bottom of the 6th. Brookins came up with the last one with a nice play. That one just eluded his diving stab.
He didn't hit it real well, too, but he's so strong.
First baseman, Roy Joyner.
This guy's the guy I thought would be the leader as we look at Brookins diving. Joyner, when you remember the first year he had, his rookie year, and good year the next year, and he was injured last year. Hasn't come back all the way yet.
Also injured his ankle in spring training playing basketball, and they gave him a lot of flack this year. 2 on, nobody out. Joyner to first. Mattingly gets to second for 1. Will not get 2 as Dotson loses it, but then recontrols.
And Mattingly just didn't get that ball cleanly on the bad hop. Came up with it on the heel and had to reach twice for it. That's the only reason they didn't get the double play.
They might have had 2 if he had it clean, but couldn't dig it out fast enough.
They see him pump twice.
It took a quick hop, and Mattingly has the good enough hands to still make the play, the forced play at second base.
Said another first baseman would not have thrown it. He had to throw a perfect throw to hit the runner in the back going into second base.
So Schofield moves to third. Joyner's on at first. That'll bring up Johnny Ray. Ray, as you look at the Yankee bullpen, Mahorsic is on the left, and Carey is on the right. The left-hander is Carey, the right-hander Mahorsic. Chuck Carey and Clay Parker just brought up by the Yankees this past week.
I think Parker is happy he didn't pitch against Nolan Ryan, who
hey, don't you?
He pitched a 5-hitter yesterday. In the game he would have pitched against the Yankees.
No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, first and third for the Angels. Outside, ball 1. Don't you think Mark Gubicza is saying,
yeah,
well, I wish
that's right.
the Yankees had gotten Ryan instead of me?
Yep.
That's bad news for California because the rotation would have meant that Ryan missed them twice in the next week because they play back-to-back. Now he figures to pitch against them twice. Down to first. They get 1, go to the plate, and they've got Schofield hung up. The throw back, he's safe.
That Mattingly is unbelievable. I mean, that was quick thinking and hit like a bullet. But Swart held the ball a little too long. Good bit of base running by Schofield, but Mattingly's sensational play.
And watch the footwork by Don Mattingly to the bag. Swart holds up. By the time he realizes it's time to go to third, Schofield is back in.
Yep.
So Schofield's now at third, Joyner's at second, and there are 2 out. Yankees lead it 5-0. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. White up, swings and misses. Strike 1. White flied out to center his first time up and fly to left his second time up. If you're just joining us, Claudell Washington has rejoined the club as you look at Schofield on third, Joyner on second. Washington is available to play tonight. His daughter has been released from the hospital and she's okay. Foul back, strike 2. And again, Dotson is ahead. Claudell's young daughter was paralyzed for a few days after an injury at home, and she's regaining use of her legs and her back. Is home now, and he's rejoined the club. He was away from the club for a few days while she recuperated. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Richard Dotson working into the 6th inning for the 2nd time since being reinserted in the rotation. Pitched 6 innings, he gave up 6 hits. And only walked 1 in Chicago, and similar numbers here. High. 2-2. White, a switch hitter. More of a spray hitter from the left side and a pull hitter from the right side. Popped into center field. Can Kelly get to it? No. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And the Angels are on the board. Devon White comes up with a 2-out base hit to center field off Richard Dotson, and the Yankees lead is cut to 5-2.
I said he hit it right off the end of the bat. Couldn't have hit it in a more perfect spot. Just too far for Sachs and too shallow for Kelly. There it is, right off the end of the bat. Just popped it in there.
He went down to get it. It was a good pitch by Dotson. He went fishing for it and got it. Chili Davis is up.
He could have been out of the inning had Slaughter thrown Schofield out of third base.
Davis grounded to second his first time up, and then to Mattingly unassisted in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 2. White bluffs the run at first. Richard Dotson has a good move to first base. Holds runners on well. You've got to get a good jump to steal a base on it. And Slaughter, of course, is much improved behind the plate. White can steal him, though. On the year, White is 13 of 14 in stolen bases. And now a 5-run game has become a 3-run game this inning. Yankees lead it 5-2. Bottom of the 6th at Anaheim. Tim Welke took a second look and then signaled strike 2.
Slaughter did a pretty good job pulling that ball.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Called a balk on Dotson as he did not stop. Second base umpire John Shulock was there to call it out as Dotson did not stop.
Yep. That was very obvious. You got to come to a slight hesitation. You don't have to hold it for that full second anymore.
They modified the rule this year, and really it's still individual interpretation, but there have been a lot fewer balks called this year than there were a year ago. Don Slaught says with a runner on second, let's talk over the signs again. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. With an 0-2 count, you hate to lose a runner, let him go to second in scoring position, and certainly you hate to have him score after you're in control 0-2 with 2 out.
Yeah, just a 3-run lead now. You don't want to get too careless out there.
Yankees got 1 run in the first, 1 in the second, and then 3 in the third to build up a 5-0 lead. The Angels have come back with 2 here in the 6th inning. White is on second, and at the plate is Chili Davis. Inside ball 1. Davis, of course, up the coast in San Francisco as a starting outfielder with the Giants. Remember that shot a couple of years ago when he struck out and then took the bat and broke it over his leg?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. One-two pitch down to Mattingly. He'll take it himself. They strand the runner, but they get 2 home. We'll go to the 7th inning at Anaheim. On the General Electric scoreboard, the score at the end of the 6th. As Tommy John looks on, Don Mattingly closes the door on the Angels, and the Yankees lead it 5-2. Reminder, some upcoming telecasts. Next Friday, May the 19th, Yankees at Seattle. Of course, Ken Griffey Jr. will be showcased in that one. That'll be at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Then Tuesday and Thursday, May the 23rd and 25th, against the Angels from Yankee Stadium. Both 7:30 starts as Steve Sax steps in against Dan Petrie. Here in the top of the 7th inning, the Yankees lead at 5-2. And here's the scooter.
All right, George. And Sax is the only man to have reached base against Petrie since he came in place of Jim Abbott. Sax walked in the 4th inning. He also singled in the 2nd and hit back to the box in the 1st. Strike 1-1. In case you missed it, Jim Abbott worked 3 innings, 3 unusual innings, in which he gave up 5 runs on 6 hits. 2 of them home runs, and struck out 5. Ooh, curve just missed. Wouldn't have hurt if it hit him. That's the kind you want to get hit by. Pretty good move by Sax here, George.
It's almost like he's trying to let it glance off him.
But that's a good way to turn instead of turning face forward. He got his backside in there. Oh, he broke his back. And English, but Gray makes the catch. He almost threw it too soon before Joyner had turned around. 1 man out. A lot of broken bats tonight.
Johnny Ray, of course, started with the Pittsburgh Pirates, was a fine second baseman, and then came here, played second, moved him to the outfield, and now he's back home at second base.
Yeah, some guys just fit in all over. Like Pete Rose, he could play just about any position and have a good year. Don Mattingly. Don hit a sacrifice fly, popped to second and fly to center. Ball 1.
Be nice to get the Pete Rose affair behind us in this 1989 season, as Commissioner Giamatti will have a hearing with Pete Rose on May the 25th.
And it'd be even nicer if Pete comes out of it in good shape. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'd like to see that happen. Sure, everybody would. I mean, it guy put a lot in a baseball. He made single hitters very respectable.
You did that a long time ago.
Well, yeah, if I never made the money he did. That's
he made the money, maybe. I think
low, 2 balls and a strike.
I think it was great, the comments that Stan Musial had a couple of years ago, and somebody asked him, what would it be like if you were playing today? How much you think you could make? And he'd say, well, I'd go into my owner and I'd say, you've got a partner.
Yeah, and hit the center field right at White. Backs up, makes the catch. 1 man, make that 2 men out. Yeah, I think the owners would be shaken if they had guys like Musial, Williams, DiMaggio, Aaron, Mays around now that would have those great years and be free agents next year. Here's Barfield, who walked, hit a tremendous home run in the 3rd inning and then flied to center field in the 4th. His 2nd home run as a Yankee. Low, ball 1. It's about this time of night, George. I got to warn you that there's something about this California air. No, it closes up my throat. Several nights I had to leave early. John Moore knows that.
White told me about that one, too. I got that written down.
That's right. 1-1.
These West Coast trips, you got to step out for a moment or two, and then 2 days later we find you, right? You want to get an early start.
No, I'm a little punchy right now. 9:43, actually 12:43. That's low, 2-1.
Don't look at your watch, Scooter. Don't look at your watch. Just look around, look at the ballpark. Nice place, good night, good game.
It is. 2 out. Oh, did he get all of it? No, White's going to get it. Just on the edge of the warning track.
Is that Bill White out there?
No.
Oh, okay.
3 up, 3 down, and at the end of 6½, the Yankees 5 and the Angels 2.
Back in Anaheim, we're set to go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Yankees leading the California Angels by a score of 5-2. Richard Dotson has been impressive again this evening. Set to deal to Lance Parrish, Dante Bichette, and Hoffman here in the 7th inning.
All right, Parrish has bounced to short and bounced to third. And Dotson, as George said, in his 7th inning of pitching now. Had 5 real easy innings. The 6th could have been another easy inning. And he pops him up on the first pitch to shallow right field. And Jesse Barfield made the catch.
You see Dave Winfield up in the booth, and you figure he's down there, right? Dave said that he's elated to have Jesse Barfield as a teammate.
Yeah. It'll be good, I tell you, if Dave gets back. Did he say anything about getting back?
No, not even talking about that
Uh-huh.
yet. I think he's been very careful not to talk at all with anyone about a possible return date. I think he's taking it one step at a time, trying to go up the ladder on the recovery road.
All right, Bichette has bounced to short, fly to center, and that's low.
It's amazing when you look at Lance Parrish and see what a productive offensive player he was when he was with Detroit, and he's lost most of that offensive
Well, he
ability.
was a definite threat every time he came to the plate. Long ball, line drive hitter. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That man has had an outstanding night. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors into the 7th inning.
Good pitch. Just hit the outside corner. 2-2.
The forgotten man for the better part of a month, and now looming bigger and bigger in the Yankee rotation.
Well, as you said, George, he has to stay ahead of the hitters. He has not walked anybody tonight. Struck him out. Holy cow. His 2nd strikeout. Jammed him, had it right in on the hands.
Third base.
What he had done before, the strike hit the outside corner, and he had Bichette leaning out that way, and he came inside. Glenn Hoffman now, who took over for Jack Howell. Howell injured himself diving for a ball, fouled back, strike 1. Should have figured he hurt himself. You know why? You were talking about what an outstanding defensive player he is, and it was an awkward dive that he made and landed funny. Two men out. Yanks on top, 5-2, bottom of the 7th. Curve just inside, 1-1.
Here's a man who in 1986 never really thought he'd be back in the major leagues again.
2 balls and a strike.
In fact, he got a home run a couple of weeks ago off Kurt Young, and it was his first home run since 1985 in the major leagues. It's a long drought.
All right, 3-1. Just saying he had not walked anybody all night. And he's behind 3-1. Well, he was behind 3-0 to Parrish. Remember, Parrish swung in a 3-0 pitch and bounced out. And he swings at a 3-1 pitch, pops it up. Mattingly's arms not long enough. Look at him. Man, he takes every advantage that he can find. Pretty good at climbing the topple, and that time pretty good at climbing the fence. Watch him.
Check out the railing.
Yep.
Let me see. I'll get right up here and
He's got 1 foot in the ballpark. Full count. All right. And Barfield started back, comes in. He dropped it. He had it. And it popped out, fires it back to first. Good try by Barfield.
Jesse almost came up with an exceptional play. In fact, I think if you talk to him after the game, he'll say, I should have had it.
Yeah, he had it in the glove. And he could have a bad wrist. You saw the glove go down and the wrist bend backwards. He had it in the glove. Had it hit, his glove hit in the back of it, he'd have held on to it. But it came to fingers first. And yeah, goes as a base hit. And the batter now, Dick Schofield, who's 2 for 2, strike 1, a double and a single. Counts to the third. Brookins goes to second base for the 4th, and he's out of the inning. 1 hit, 1 man left at the end of 7 is the Yankees 5 and the Angels 2.
Stand begins on Tuesday, May the 23rd, and features the California Angels, Oakland Athletics, and Seattle Mariners. Yankees host the Angels May 23rd, 24th, 25th at 7:30, followed by the A's Friday, May 26th at 7:30, Saturday the 27th at 2:20, and Sunday, May 28th at 1:30. May 26th is also the Wiz Yankee poster night. And please note the new 2:20 start time for the game on May the 27th. Mariners visit the stadium for an afternoon game on Memorial Day, May 29th at 1:30, and night games on May 30th and 31st at 7:30. Tickets are on sale at the stadium and at all Ticketmaster locations. Richard Dotson has done the job so far tonight for the New York Yankees. He's been there when he needed the big pitches. He's given up 2 runs so far. And on the other side, Jim Abbott started. Dan Petrie was next. And now Bill Frazier is the new pitcher for the California Angels. Frazier grew up just up the road here in Irvine, California.
I went through there today. Irvine, California. How do you like that?
You get around. You're complaining about, you're tired out here. That's because you're going out and, partying all day. And boy.
You got it, George. I'm 1 inning up on you.
Oh, okay, Scooter. Balboni, Slaughton, Brookins against Frazier. Balboni on the night struck out in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, and then bounced to first unassisted in the 5th inning. Yankees 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error. California 2-6-0. It's been an impressive night so far for Richard Dotson. Had a good start in Chicago and has backed it up with a 2nd consecutive good start. 0-2 pitch, fouled off.
What is the score of this game?
5-2.
How come I got 6 runs for the Yankees?
Well, you're welcome to do it if you want, See, I told you the way you're keeping score there. He's got hieroglyphics. There's John Moore showing you what the score is right there. Well, maybe you're saying that Balboni's going to hit a home run. Inside, 1-2. Frazier's 0-1 in 3 games, has an ERA of 4.50, only 8 innings of work so far. This one pop foul and out of play into the stands along the first base side. Wally Joyner gave chase, but hello Bronx and Riverdale. Tell you, around the hotel and around the ballpark, a lot of folks from the New York area that are Yankee fans out here.
Yeah, Yankee pennants, Yankee hats, Yankee jackets all over the place.
1-2 to Balboni. 2-2.
There you are. Out of those Yankee hats.
It's like the one you wear up in the booth.
Yep.
High ball 3. So Frazier had him 0-2 and now goes full 3-2. We're in the top of the 8th. Yankees lead at 5-2. Both clubs with 6 hits, but the Yankees with 5 runs into the 8th. Bounced hard down to third. Hoffman over to Joyner, and there's one down. Glenn Hoffman, who played mostly shortstop when he was with the Boston Red Sox,
The catcher.
now plays
Slot.
anywhere they want him to play. He said, I'll do anything to stay in the majors.
He always had the good arm.
Gave you that Marty Marion look at short. Remember,
Yes,
didn't he?
yes, he did. Very much like it.
Long
Oh,
and
slats. Yep.
That'll bring up Don Slaught. Fouled off and out of play. Slaught walked in the 2nd inning, then struck out in the 3rd and bounced to first unassisted in the 5th. Former 2-time captain of the UCLA Bruins was talking before the game, saying that big series, UCLA and USC in baseball up the road a little bit, and was talking to Parrish also, because Parrish fouled back again. Parrish almost accepted a football scholarship to UCLA. If you can believe it, it was possible. Parrish is a year older than Slaught. These two could have been on the same team at UCLA. Lance Parrish and Don Slaught. I wonder who the catcher would have been if he had gone to UCLA as a football player. Instead, of course, Parrish took the contract that the Tigers offered him and signed. He's another Southern California product. Lance Parrish is from Yorba Linda, and that was one of his reasons to come here in California. Wanted to be close to home. A couple of pretty good catchers right there. Foul down the 3rd base line. Hoffman over to retrieve it, but no throw necessary. Tom Brookins in the on-deck circle. 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 8th. Yankees lead California 5-2. First of a weekend set that goes through till Monday. John against Witt on Saturday. Hawkins against Finley on Sunday. LaPointe against Blyleven on Monday here in Anaheim. High 2-2. Then the club goes to Oakland to take on the team that currently is 1 game ahead of the California Angels in first place in the Western Division. Full again. So Balboni was 0-2 and then worked it to a full count, and Slaught was 0-2 and now he's worked it to a full count against Frazier.
I'm really getting punchy up here.
Ball 4. He loses him this time. You finally got it.
I finally got it. I thought he was talking about George Steinbrenner, but it's George Grande. I remember you and Siebert talking about going to University of Southern California at the same time. Is that right?
Yes.
I'm a little slow out here in the West. As a matter of fact, I'm 3 hours behind time.
Slaught over at first. Brookins to the plate. There goes Slaught. Brookins tries to hit and run. Frazier has it. We'll get Brookins at first as Brookins tries to inside out the ball to the right side and just couldn't get the inside pitch over there. So Slaught moves to second.
Alvaro Espinosa.
How did you come to go to USC? From where are you from originally? Anyway?
Connecticut.
Well, how'd you go from one coast to the other?
Took the plane.
So close to Yale, you just
Yeah,
take a bicycle.
You had to be a good student to go to Yale. That's like you. You went over to Columbia. You were interviewed at Columbia.
And
Fordham too.
Yeah. But
matter of fact, Was it a banquet for Lou DiFilippo, one of the 7 blocks of Grande who went to Fordham? And
yes.
They remember you well. They wanted you to play football for them.
Yes, I remember them well. It's when I saw them, that's what changed my mind.
Single wing quarterback, right?
That's to drive White nuts with that.
Espinosa with Slaught on second. 2 outs. 8th inning, Yankees lead it. Boy, that one sawed off.
Oh.
Now that's a broken back.
Yep. He still got the handle in his hand, but the barrel is out halfway to the pitcher's box.
You know they're giving him grief on the bench. So get a real bat, will you? Got to change. That's his last bat. The dark bat. He's got to change to another bat. Espinosa looking down at Lee Elia at third, and Elia said something to him. Slots on second. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. There's number 43, Lee Elia. Just think, if you had gone to college, Scooter.
Yeah.
Well, you could have been another Frankie Frisch, but you might have never played for the Yankees.
That's right.
Amazing how things work out.
Yes, everything happens for the best.
Gets him to bite at the high fastball, and it's 1-2. And if the Red Sox had contacted you a couple of days earlier, you might have signed with them instead of the Yankees.
You know who also had signed with them?
A guy by the name of Pee Wee.
That's right, Pee Wee Reese.
Ball 1, strike 2, 2 outs. Slaught on second. To third, Hoffman has it. Comes up throwing to Joyner, and Espinosa is retired. The Yankees leave Slaught on, and will go to the bottom of the 8th at Anaheim. Dallas Green has a 3-run lead as the Yankees lead California 5-2.
Defeated Cleveland 6-3. Jack Morris gets his 2nd win of the year. It was Minnesota 6, Toronto 5. Baltimore over the White Sox 9-6. Kansas City defeated Texas 4-3. It was Boston 2 and Seattle 0. That's the final score. And Milwaukee 4 and Oakland 3. The National League, the Mets lost a toughie to San Diego in 12 innings, 4-3. It was Houston 3 and the Cubs 1. Pittsburgh 10, Atlanta 2, Philadelphia 3, the Dodgers 0. San Francisco 2, Montreal 1, and Cincinnati 5 and St. Louis 0. New pitcher, and George to tell you all about him.
Lee Guterman to face Downing, Joyner, and Johnny Ray here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Guterman relieves Dotson. Guterman has been exceptional so far. 1 ball, 1 strike. He relieved Dave LaPointe on Tuesday night, gave up 1 hit in 2 1/3 innings, had saves in 3 straight April outings, the first 3 of his career. Fly ball foul down the right field line and out of play. In 12 games, he's entered an inning with runners on base, and 11 times he's retired the first hitter. Very seldom has he been in this situation where he starts off an inning. In fact, obviously, there was some talk. He was a starter in Seattle. There was some talk when Candelaria went down of moving him into the starting rotation. To third, Brookins. Long throw. Mattingly has it. And Downing is retired.
Oh, he did it again.
Dallas Green looking intently at the man they call their secret weapon, Lee Guterman. Dallas said, along with Billy Connors, his pitching coach, let's not mess with something that's working.
That's
and the
absolutely
bullpen
right.
has been.
I wouldn't do it. No way. Because then he's got to pitch altogether different. When you know you're starting, you got to go 7, 8 innings. Here, you just know you got to go 1 or 2. And you can really cut loose.
Wally Joyner in. That goes 2 ways. First, you don't want to ruin a good thing with Guterman, and secondly, you don't want to ruin a good thing with the bullpen. You take Guterman out of that, that puts more pressure on Righetti from the left side. This one to Brookins again. 2 down. Tom Brookins has been a busy man at third. Came up with one exceptional play and some routine ones too.
Johnny Ray.
Brookins said this afternoon that says it's warming up. I feel more like baseball weather. What are you doing yawning?
I'm talking in my sleep now. This is.
You got to get to bed earlier and stop partying out here, Scooter. Boy.
It's a good game, too. It's not that it's a dull game.
5 runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Yankees. 2-6-0 for California. Johnny Ray bounced out to first unassisted, singled in the 4th, and then bounced out to first unassisted. See, you wake up.
Well, when a camera comes on, I got to show people I'm alert.
You are.
Like John Moore, he's doing a big his birthday present to his father tonight. Father's 65th birthday, Ellis Moore. So he's, you know, directing a great ball game and a win for the Yankees. But he caught me in a little nap.
You got a busy day scheduled for tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Today was Disneyland. Let's get your itinerary.
Carmel tomorrow.
You're driving all the way to Carmel?
Oh, yeah. Got to see Clint Eastwood up there. He's in a little bit of trouble and not the mayor anymore. So.
Play golf?
No, too cold. It's very cold in Carmel.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Gooderman gets him. So we'll go to the 9th at Anaheim. On the Canon camera scoreboard, the score at the end of 8. Yankees 5, Angels 2. Back at Anaheim, we go to the top of the 9th inning, and the Yankees with a 5-2 lead, Scooter.
Yes, George, they do. Who's up?
Roberto Kelly steps in. Foul back, strike 1. Boy, White warned me.
I'm telling you, a haze comes over my glasses at this time of night.
Roberto Kelly at the bottom of the order, then Ricky Henderson and Steve Sachs here in Southern California. 0-2.
See the time out there on the scoreboard?
10-10.
10-10. And the number?
You gonna play that tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Count remains at 0-2 for Kelly, who struck out in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 3rd against Abbott, and then flied out to right field in the 6th inning. Hit it pretty good, though, as you look at Jimmy Reese. 70 years of baseball. He's over 80, and he's not yawning, Scooter.
I heard John Moore saying, I was just going to say I ought to be ashamed of myself. He got me by plenty of years and mileage, and he's wide awake and chewing that gum, and look at him.
Tell you, the Angels have a pretty loose locker room with Bert Blyleven and Jimmy Reese. Kelly goes down for the 3rd time tonight.
You know, we had mentioned earlier, there's the...
And Doug Rader, too. He was a piece of work.
Oh, he was.
Ricky Henderson.
And there's Claudel, and he's done a few things in his day. I mean, Rader, he was your basic hot foot guy when he was managing and as a player. He's a pretty good player, too. 5 straight Gold Gloves. He had 20 home run years with the Astros, and to have 20 home run years in the Dome is no small accomplishment.
Gotta be strong.
Ricky Henderson steps in. You know, Rader, when he's from Glenbrook, Illinois, and went to Illinois Wesleyan, and he played baseball in college, but he also played amateur hockey under an assumed name. In fact, a couple of them. Lou DiBardini and Dom Fulganzio, so they wouldn't know who he was. He really did. He said he did. Those are 2 pretty good names.
They are.
He's a guy back in '83 that coined winning ugly for the Chicago White Sox when he was managing with the Texas Rangers. Said they don't win pretty, they win ugly. The White Sox, of course, came out with jerseys to celebrate that. 2 balls, 1 strike to Rickey Henderson. Henderson doubled in the first and scored, walked in the second, flied out to center against Petrie in the 4th, and then bounced to second in the 6th. 2-1, 1 out. Frazier's pitch is inside. Rickey started like a ball of fire and is slowed up on the base pass. He's 15 for 18, and as you heard Dave Winfield talk about, he's hopped to the right side. Will it reach the stands? It'll be close. Joyner can't get it. Jammed his shoulder a little bit, and you know, Rickey does the head first slide, and you pay the price with that, with a jammed shoulder once in a while, and he's tried to let the shoulder heal a little bit. That's why he hasn't run as much.
That's right. Got a 16th stolen base tonight. Oh.
Get the back loose. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Fouled off again.
Well, I know what I started to say.
Okay.
So I dozed off. Roberto Kelly, remember in batting practice, was pulling everything. And here he struck out 3 times. I don't think we'll see that tomorrow.
You won't see him pull the ball in batting practice?
That's right. I think that can get you in bad habits, especially when you're not a pull hitter.
Full count to Henderson, 1 out.
Oh!
Boy, he hit him good.
I don't know why the umpire jumped out thinking Rickey might go after him.
Tim Welke did not waste a moment. He ran right behind Henderson to get between Henderson and the mound. And that'll bring up Steve Sachs. Watch Tim Welke come from behind the plate after Henderson gets hit.
Ooh, right on the left buttock. And here comes Welke. It's a good move. I mean, you never know. Tempers are short.
Better safe than sorry.
Yep.
Steve Sachs with Henderson on first and 1 out. There goes Rickey. The throw, high again.
Boy, I tell you.
That's the way you respond to being hit by a pitch if you're Rickey Henderson.
All right, well, he's tied Espy for the lead unless Espy got a stolen base tonight in his game. 17 for Rickey now.
And, you know, you almost feel that Rickey's going to say, you hit me, I steal second. You hit me, I steal third.
Yeah, he could. And both times his throws have been high to Schofield.
Gene Mauch, the former manager here, said Rickey Henderson's first 2 steps are the quickest he's ever seen at stealing a base.
Yes, sir. No doubt about it.
One ball, no strikes, 1 out. We're in the 9th. Yankees lead California 5-2. Let's just say they're aware of him out there.
Nervous time for them.
Rickey's got that determined look. Schofield trying to jump in. 2 balls, no strikes. Steve Sachs on the night. Bounce to the pitcher. Trying to bunt. Nice play by Abbott. Had an infield hit in the 2nd. Then walked in the 4th and bounced to 2nd in the 7th. What you're doing there is giving Sachs a great opportunity to punch the ball through on the right side, which is where he likes to go, especially with a 2-ball, no-strike count. Figures you get a fastball, and Sachs loves to take the fastball the other way.
Except he might give Ricky a chance to steal if he sees him going.
There he goes.
I think Ricky tired himself out diving back into second base, and he didn't have a good jump that time. He leaned, went back, and then was in between leaning when he delivered the pitch. There it is.
Hey, it's a guessing game at the plate, too. Here's the shot of Ricky going into third, and he knows he is El Dead Duck. But at the plate, it's a guessing game with the right-handed batter up. Is the catcher going to go behind you or in front of you? Steve Sachs guessed. Strike one, 3-1. Steve Sachs guessed that Parrish would try to go behind him, and he's tried to step back in the batter's box. Instead, Parrish came out in front of the plate and had an unobstructed throw to third. Inside, ball 4. So Ricky gets nailed for the second time this year trying to steal third, something that we didn't see at all for the last couple of years.
Oh, Latchman going out again. As for whether they're going to, they're going to get the left-hander in to pitch to Mattingly. How about that? Well, they're still in the ball game.
I'll hold it where it is at 5-2. Doug Rader does not want to see another one cross the plate. So they'll bring in the left-hander, and with the pitching change going on, we'll take some time out for these messages along the Yankee Baseball Network.
Well, here's a guy who's got probably the best pickoff move in baseball. Bob McClure. He's been with a lot of clubs lately, but looks like he's back on the beam again. George.
Hey, it's amazing. You look at the statistics of this pitching staff, and one is better than the other.
Yeah.
McClure's got an ERA of 1.17 in 7 innings of work. I mean, you look it down the list. Abbott coming in 3.65, Blyleven 2.66, Finley 2.37. Frazier was the only one over 4 out of the bullpen at 4.50. Harvey 0.0. McCaskill 0.41. I mean, it's unbelievable as you look at Doug Rader. Happy with his pitching statistics out of the bullpen. In other words, you're looking at different, those are the overall stats for the year. It's been an exceptional start of this year for the California Angels pitching staff.
You gotta let me know these things, George, out in California.
Bob McClure was in New York last year with the Mets.
Right.
As a matter of fact. They added him after Bob Ojeda went down. Remember, he had the accident, the gardening accident. 2 outs, Mattingly up. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 out. Jesse Barfield in the on-deck circle. Mattingly this evening. Sacrifice fly in the first scored the Yankees' first run. Popped out to second. Flied out to center field. And then flied out to center field again. Dave Winfield spent some time with Don Mattingly by his locker before the game tonight. They talked for a couple of minutes about Winfield's physical situation and spent the rest of the time talking about hitting and about the team. 2-1. Fly ball right field. Didn't get all of this one. Bichette is there, and that'll do it for the Yankees in the top of the 9th. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yankees lead the California Angels 5-2.
There's finally a little guy that does everything the big guys do. Introducing Minolta's Maxim 3000i, the world's smallest, most affordable autofocus SLR. The first easy little camera that does it all with any lens. And big camera technology in a small body means results that are absolutely incredible. The big little Maxim 3000i.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Budweiser and Bud Light are joining USA Today so you can vote for the All-Stars. Pick up an official All-Star fan ballot free wherever you buy Bud and Bud Light. Then enter the All-Star Pick-a-Pair Trivia Sweepstakes. Answers appear every day in USA Today, your #1 source for sports coverage. So look for this display and vote.
And now, Chopin's Polonaise in A with Mr. Glenn Gilbert, virtuoso, and Mr. David Winfield, New York Yankee.
They say you'll never get rich playing another man's game. So when it comes to your money, we only play our game, mutual funds, and we've gotten pretty good at it. We're Oppenheimer Fund Management. Ask your financial advisor about Oppenheimer.
Participating advertisers in New York Yankee baseball are Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. The Daily News, New York's hometown paper. Nobody tells it like the Daily News. New York's Lotto. All you need is $1 and a dream. Watch for the lottery drawings on WPIX. Citgo, the sign of quality. And by the New York Yankees. And by George.
Go to the bottom of the 9th inning at Anaheim. White, Davis, and Parrish scheduled up against Lee Guterman. First time up, White flied to center, then flied to left, and then singled to center field his third time up. So he's 1 for 3. His single brought in the 2 runs for the California Angels. Yankees got 5 runs early and haven't had a hit since the 3rd inning. So far, it's held up. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, they did all their damage against young Jim Abbott.
And truthfully, Abbott was victimized by some questionable fielding, too.
Yes. Yep.
They get Davis. They get White, and Davis is due up. White strikes out, finishes the night at 1 for 4.
Boy, he filmed that big motion, and that ball just dipped down. Little Scroogey.
Lee Guterman is throwing well. He's healthy, but he also has so much confidence right now. Davis dumps it down. They'll let it roll. It goes foul. He had a base hit if it had stayed fair, but as soon as it crossed the white line, Brookins gobbled it up. As we said at the outset of this one, this is a club that can bunt.
That was a beauty there. But it's tough once it rolls off that grass. Oh, that was beautifully done with the hands. You see, it was a little too close to the line, and it always kicks foul.
No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Chili Davis, who grounded to second his first time up, and the last 2 times is grounded to first, unassisted. 0 for 3 on the night. Of the 6 hits California has, 1 comes from the number 8 hitter, Glenn Hoffman, and 2 from the number 9 hitter, Dick Schofield. Gets the outside corner. Guterman ahead of White 1 and 2, now ahead of Davis 1 and 2. Struck out 1 in the 8th. Tommy John against Mike Witt Saturday. Hawkins against Finley Sunday. LaPointe against Blyleven on Monday here in Anaheim. Up the middle, that'll be a base hit. California Angels will not give up without a fight here in the ninth. 7th hit for the Angels tonight, and they now lead in the hit parade, 7 to the Yankees 6. But on the scoreboard, it's 5-2 New York. That'll bring up Lance Parrish, who grounded to second, grounded to third, and flied out to right. Under 230 for the year. 6 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, and 12 runs batted in. To Sachs, to Espinosa, and to Mattingly. And Gooderman does the job again. A well-deserved hand from Slaughter Mattingly. And the double play will wrap it up at Anaheim. The Yankees 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error. California 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. We'll be back with a look at this one after this timeout.
The Canon Sure Shot Ace with remote control puts you in your own pictures where you ought to be.
You ought to be in pictures. You're wonderful to see. You ought to be in pictures. Oh, what a hit you would be. You ought to be in pictures.
The Canon Sure Shot Ace with remote control, so advanced you get in on the fun.
Canon, the official camera of the New York Yankees.
No. What I want is real life frustration, anxiety. All right, look. You're an actor. You're late for an audition, but you've got to get to the bank. And that line is a mile long. So you race to the cash machine. It's out of cash. Okay? You got it? Sorta. What? You never had a cash machine run out of cash before? So where is your bank? Mars?
Well, actually, it's
Matt West.
The 96-hour marathon is on. Your Toyota dealer has a huge selection of cars and trucks in stock now, and the challenge is to sell thousands in only 96 hours. Make your best deal on any car or truck and get ready to save. Incentives to dealers on Camry could save you hundreds more. Save over $1,000 on cars. Save hundreds on all new Toyota trucks. Plus, factory-to-dealer incentives could save you even more. So hurry in right now. Don't miss the 96-hour marathon going on at your Toyota dealer now.
It's just one of those weeks.
You've got my ship and I want it back.
Even captains have them.
You're very late. Where have you been? Rough Rod? Irrelevant.
Trek Top 20, all next week at 6 on Channel 11.
Back in Anaheim, 41,846 on hand. This is a team that has averaged over 28,000, and tonight, as is usually the case when the Yankees come to town, a lot of folks come out to the ballpark. And on this particular night, they saw a pretty good baseball game. They didn't go home, the home folks at least, with what they wanted. They had Jim Abbott going, and Abbott gets touched early on his side. And on the Yankees side, Richard Dotson came up with his 2nd consecutive impressive outing.
Oh, I mean, this was very impressive. I mean, this was mid-season form. No walks, just 6 base hits, 2 strikeouts, and the 2 runs they got could have been averted. It could have been a shutout, but he'd be happy to take what he's got right. He's got to really feel elated.
One of his 2 strikeouts right there. And for Richard Dotson now, in 13 innings of work in his last 2 appearances, he has only walked 1 and has only given up 6 hits this time and 6 hits last time. 12 hits in those 13 innings. And for the man who was the forgotten man, he's made himself known in the last 2 times
yes,
out.
Will, that's his trademark, George, as you had mentioned prior to the game, that if he stays ahead of the hitters, then he makes them hit his pitch or try to hit his pitch. And they're out in front, and they don't get good wood on the ball. And he really made it look easy tonight.
Jim Abbott.
Jim Abbott, that was a shame. I mean, I can see 41,800 and some odd come out to see him. He's got to draw an extra 10 or 15,000 every time he pitches, and he's great to watch. But tonight, he had a little tough luck. We watched him at the beginning, watched him trying to loosen up. Looked like he was a little stiff. Could be. Don't forget the Yankees' first time in a big crowd like this, and tried a little hard, but kid's got a lot of guts, I'd say. I wish him a lot of luck.
Abbott, 3 innings, gave up all 5 runs, 6 hits, struck out 5, but really just never had control of his breaking ball, and that proved to be his demise, along with Howell, White, and Bichette all made questionable defensive plays, and that certainly didn't help him, although he did give up some long ball. And we'll talk about the long ball after we pause for these messages.
When you're hot, you're hot.
Your quality Ford dealer is hot with 9 new Fords priced under $99.99. Choose from Ford Escort LX, Tempo GL, Festive LX, Ranger XLT, Mustang LX, Escort Wagon, Tempo 4-door, Ranger STX, and Escort GT. 9 Fords under $99.99. And that's before you make your best deal. Your tri-state quality Ford dealers are hot.
Ford dealers. When you're hot, you're hot.
Budweiser and Bud Light are joining USA Today so you can vote for the All-Stars. Pick up an official All-Star fan ballot free wherever you buy Bud and Bud Light. Then enter the All-Star Pick-a-Pair Trivia Sweepstakes. Answers appear every day in USA Today, your #1 source for sports coverage. So look for this display and vote.
Candidates quiz. Which candidate for mayor has gone on the record opposing any new taxes? Ronald Lauder. Who supports the use of the military for drug interdiction? Ronald Lauder. Who supports tuition tax credits for low and middle income parents with children in parochial or independent schools? Ronald Lauder. Which candidate for mayor is proud to be a conservative Republican? Ronald Lauder. For a great new New York City.
If you're not a subscriber to Yankees Magazine, here's a great offer you may not be able to resist. If you subscribe now and you are a new subscriber, you'll receive 1 full year, 12 big full-color issues of Yankees Magazine, and 2 free box seats to a selected Yankee home game, all for only $18. Order your new subscription to Yankee Magazine now by sending a check or money order for $18 to Yankees Magazine, Department FT, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, 10451. And please be sure to note for which one of these games you would like your 2 free box seats. Seattle on May the 31st, Baltimore on June the 7th or August the 24th, Chicago on June 20th or 21st, Milwaukee on July 3rd or September 19th, or Cleveland on August the 9th. For more information, call toll-free 1-800-543-3600. That's 1-800-543-3600. If you want to stay up on the Yankees, Yankees Magazine is the way to do it. And we will begin publishing Phil Rizzuto's road itinerary in California so you can keep up to the Scooter and see what he does on the road here. Scooter, home run ball. That helped the Yankees on this night. The Yankees get a run in the first on Mattingly's sacrifice fly, and then another one in the second when Sax's ball to third results in an RBI and a questionable play by Howell. He could have been out of the inning there. So 2 runs early, and then in the third, home run ball was the story. Barfield let it off.
Oh, tremendous home run. This one really, man, he knew it right away, too. Way over the fence. And back in the seats. Kid made a good catch out there.
Jesse Barfield celebrating the return of number 29 on his back as Dave LaPointe officially gave up the number. LaPointe now wears 42. Barfield for the first game had 29. And then after a base hit by Balboni, Tom Brookins.
Brookins got that slider down and in and got around on it. Just did clear the fence, but that's all it has to do. 2 big runs.
So the home run by Barfield made it 3-0. The 2-run home run by Brookins made it 5-0, and that was all the Yankees needed. From that point on, for the rest of the ball game, they didn't get a hit.
No, I know it. A lot of times you get reruns early and you kind of take it easy, and then you can't bounce back, and usually you lose ball games like that. I think the Yankees were very fortunate. They had Dotson and Guterman at their best tonight.
So the Yankees win it 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error. And for California, as you see the final play of the game, Guterman comes in and nurses the 4-6-3 DP. Nice play by Sax, and again, a nice stretch by Mattingly at first base, as he's done time and time again. And the way it started for Lance Parrish is the way it ends on a 4-6-3 double play. Guterman comes in, slams the door, and for the Yankees, they start this California-Washington swing with a victory by a final 5-2 over the California Angels. We'll wrap this one up after this timeout.
baseball fans, check this great collector's offer from MasterCard. The Masters of the Game, a collection of vintage player baseball cards. Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, the best who ever wore the uniform. 8 great Hall of Famers who both mastered the moment and mastered the game. Yours in a handsome frame, exclusively to MasterCard card holders for just $9.95. Call 1-800-247-7100 now to order. That's 1-800-247-7100. MasterCard. Master the moment.
The moment. It is born of the things we live for, and sometimes made of the things we live through. So whether it's the moment you need cash, or the moment you've been waiting for, you can count on MasterCard. In nearly 3 times the number of places as American Express, wherever you happen to be, from sea to shining sea. MasterCard. Master the moment.
It's smoother than glass, smoother than ivory, twice as smooth as Teflon, and 6 times smoother than Gillette's White Strip. Introducing the Wilkinson Sword Ultra Glide Blade with the remarkable new blue Ultra Glide Strip. In a recent test, men preferred it to Gillette. Ultra Glide from Wilkinson Sword. It's smoother than...
Jeep Racing Team, the winningest team in off-road racing, goes nowhere without Craftsman tools. From their durable precision power tools to hand tools that are guaranteed forever. So, make sure it's a Craftsman, because you don't want to get stuck with anything else.
Over 41,846 have filed out of Anaheim Stadium now, as the Yankees have begun their West Coast swing with a victory over the California Angels 5-2. They were out-hit 7-6, but came back with the victory. 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error for New York. The California Angels could manage but 2 hits, and for the Yankees, no Yankee had more than 1 hit. But importantly, Barfield had a home run, and Brookins had a 2-run home run. And the Yankees, with 3 in the 3rd, build up a 5-0 lead and win for Richard Dotson. Dotson, 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits, struck out 2, did not walk a batter. And Jim Abbott takes the loss. His record now 2-3 on 1989. So the Yankees are over 500 once again at 17-16. They have 3 more games against the Angels here in Anaheim. Saturday, John versus Witt. Sunday, Hawkins versus Finley. And Monday, LaPointe versus Blyleven. And for all of us here at WPIX, that wraps it up from Anaheim Stadium. Be sure to join us again for our next telecast next Friday, May the 19th at 10 p.m. Note the time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, when the Yankees face the Seattle Mariners here on the Yankee Baseball Network. For Tom Seaver, who's on assignment tonight, and for the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto, this is George Grande saying thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.